Afternoon, Prob-Stats students. Mr. Mitchell here. We're going to take a look at bar graphs, circle graphs, and time plots today. We're in section 2.1, and let's go ahead and take a look. A lot of the stuff you've already done before. A lot of it's covered in 7th grade math, but I want to make sure that we have a pretty good understanding of how to display data that we've collected. Remember, last unit we were collecting data. Now we're going to start to analyze that data. So first type of thing is a bar graph. Notice bars are uniform width. We don't have one bar that's really fat and wide and the other bar skinny. They're uniformly spaced. There is space in between them. You're going to see histograms later. There is no space in between them. That's for something else. Maybe vertical or horizontal. Typically we're going to stay with vertical bar graphs, but you could draw it horizontally. Lengths represent quantities being compared. We need to make sure we have a title, and then labels here. There should be a label over here. Usually is just frequency or total number. But that's a bar graph. All right. Pareto chart is a bar graph that goes in descending order. You start with the biggest one first, and then you put everything smaller after that. So 50, 20, 10, 5. So it's a bar graph that goes in order. So I could make this into a Pareto chart by putting size first, then color, then quantity, then didn't like. So just be aware of that. If you're asked to do a Pareto chart, it's just a bar graph, but you have to make sure you put them in order. Got a circle graph or a pie chart. I know you can't see the different colors here of the 4 different states, but you want to try to divide them up and make them pretty even. Remember, a circle is 360 degrees. Half of a circle is 180, so you want to base your percentages on that. This 49% should be right about half the circle, since it's 50% half the circle. So that's your circle graph. Time plot. Down here, you're going to have your time, which in this case, it's months. It could be days. It could be seconds. Could be minutes. Could be years, decades, whatever time that you're using. That goes down here. It should be in chronological order. We don't want May, then January, then March. So the horizontal scale should be the time. The vertical scale is the measurable variable. It's based on what you're talking about, whether it's population or longevity, lifespan. Could be a lot of different things, but that's what you would put on your y-axis. Don't forget your time. You need labels, you need title, and then you're good. Okay. Time series graphs, same concept. Now we're going to make a circle graph. So I've provided some space for you. If we were in class doing this all together, you'd be writing this on some paper. But how long does it take for a person to drive to work? So I'm going to give you some data, and then I'm going to have you make some graphs. Okay, so let me do my best to write in some of this data. This is less than 5 minutes. And normally I would collect data from you if we were in class doing this. So there were 40 students that did that. And then from 5 to 10 minutes, there were 35 students that did that. And then from 10 to 20 minutes, there were 45 students. And then greater than 20, there were 30. All right, so then we're going to find our fractions. We just take our number here, so it's 40. It's not working. Use this. There we go. So it's 40 over 150. Because you're taking your number here and you're dividing by the total number of 150. So that decimal is 0.27, which is 27%. And then to figure out this part, take 360 times 0.27 and it's 97.2. Again, normally in class I would have you do all of this yourselves then at this point after I demonstrated, but this 35 over 150 is 23.23. That turns out to be 82.8 degrees. That's 23%. And then you take 45 and divide by 150. That's going to give you a decimal of... It's not writing again for me. Doesn't seem to want to cooperate. Here we go. Try it again. So that's 0.3. So it's 30%. And that's 108 degrees. And then your last one, you could just subtract them from 360 because it better make a full circle, otherwise you messed up. So 30 divided by 150 is 0.2, 20%. So now we need to take these numbers. We need to make our circle. So we come down here to our circle graph. And so 97.2 degrees. This is going to be a little difficult for me to do a very good job of making things straight, but I will try my best. So here's the center of the circle. 97 is a little bit more than that. So what is that? What are we talking about? This is less than 5 minutes. All right. Then we have 5 to 10 minutes is about 82.8. So that's together, those are a little bit more than 180. So this is 5 to 10. And then 108 degrees, if you think about what's left, 72, 108, that's probably something like this maybe, or roughly. So this is 10 to 20, and this is greater than 20. This could probably be a little bit more over in here, just to make it a little bit better. But there's your circle graph, and then this is, I guess it's not distance, it's time, huh? Sorry about that. Having trouble with my Wacom board. Time to work. I'm using my mouse to write, which is not the most effective way to do this. Time to work. Okay? All right, for this particular problem, the data is already given to you. So I would like you to try this. All right? You're going to put the different things in here. I already gave you the percents, so you can write those in the column. Turn them into decimals, which you just move the decimal place, and then find the number of degrees. So go ahead and try that. Okay, we're having some issues with PDF file, so I just created it in a Smart Notebook. So the breakdown of each category, the teaching, the research, the professional growth, community service, service to college, and then consulting outside the college. You can see the decimals, and then the percentages are the same thing. You just move the decimal place twice. And then here's your degrees that you're going to use to then make your circle graph. Okay? So it kind of breaks down from there. There's the breakdown of that, and then you can make your circle graph. And then on the next page of this PDF file, make your circle graph. But then what are the benefits of a circle graph pie chart? Like why would we do this? It's useful for showing parts of a whole quantity, which you can see the different parts. It's relatively safe from misinterpretation. And then it's easy to use for qualitative data. Typically bar graphs are for qualitative. What are qualitative data? It's your nominal and ordinal data, which are basically categories. Gender, hair color, eye color, that kind of stuff. So let me know if you have any questions.